Just outside right now, and we had a crazy thunderstorm go through earlier, and now everything is calm, it's peaceful. We're right at that moment when the sun has touched the horizon and it's going down, and it's probably one of my favorite times of day. It's almost like, everything's at the conclusion. You've done a lot of work, you've done things, you've come home, and now it's almost like there's a little bit of a relief. You've gotten through the day, feel pretty good about things. I know I do. It's also a Friday, which is interesting because during this weird period, days and weeks have just bled into each other. And I'm shocked that next week is going to be the last week in May. Usually, I'm at an NCAA championship right now. Usually, I am with my friends. Usually, I am sharing stories and socializing and watching my kids, the athletes on our team, achieve the apex of success. Last year, one of my kids won a national championship, right? And that was one of our goals. This year, one of the goals that we talked about was potentially trying to break the all-time record in the event that he did. He's ranked number 6th all-time in the history of the NCAA in his event. And it's weird that I'm not doing any of that. Still talking to all those friends, still socializing with them, but not in a physical sense where I'm actually there sharing in the excitement of life and competition in the way that I normally would. So it's kind of interesting to think of the juxtaposition of last year this time and this year this time, what things look like. I think there's some pros here. The positives are that some of the kids that are on our team, we had considered redshirting them, and we were forced to redshirt this year. So that's a potential silver lining to a gray cloud. And hopefully as they're physically, psychologically, emotionally more mature in that 5th year versus that 2nd year, that they'll be able to do some really big things. The other thing that I've been spending a lot of time on is trying to connect with different groups. So for example, our alumni, I've been trying to connect with them. I've been trying to engage them in a way that they still feel connected to our program. And this has given me time that I would not have had to do that. So that is definitely a pro. And then I've got another big pro that probably trumps all of these, and that is the fact that I'm at home every single day with my son, who has just turned 1 in April, and those are inputs that can never be replaced, never changed, never altered. He's growing up with the understanding that I'm at home every single day and I'm consumed with whatever he finds interesting and spending time with him. So I think those are invaluable inputs to his life. One of the things that my wife and I discuss all the time is the value of the inputs. In each family, most of the kids get very similar inputs, and a lot of times because of the difference between nature and nurture, you end up with a totally different end result, right? Just because you receive the same inputs has no guarantee that you're going to get the same result. I think with most kids, let's just say it starts at 50-50, and then the way that they're impacted or the way that they respond to those inputs may skew it one way or the other, whether nature or their innate being is the determining factor of who they are, or nurture, the inputs that they receive, are the determining factor in who they end up. It's kind of a fun thing to think about. Why are you the way that you are? Is it because your parents treated you a certain way or raised you a certain way? Or is it because you innately are who you are? The older I get, the more that I realize that there is a biological component to that, as well as a psychological component to that. thought for the day. Have a great one.